The movie Brightburn is the baby of my two favorite mediums, horror flicks and comic books. Fantastic visuals of both CGI and practical effects, dialogue that made you yell at the characters on the screen, plus suspenseful moments that left you second guessing what would happen next, added up to an enjoyable film that I highly recommend checking out. And that's just regardless of the fact if you're a horror fan or not, because the basis of the film is rooted in a family with its own struggles. While some moviegoers refer to the film as a dark Superman movie, comic enthusiasts specifically compared it to the Elseworld story, Superman Red Sun. But is it fair to compare the two? And is it worth picking up the series at all? It's written by superstar Mark Millar, with pencils by Dave Johnson, Ken Lopez as a letterer, and Paul Mounts doing the colors. Here's what's going on. The story is based on the premise of, what if baby Kal-El grew up in the Soviet Union instead of Kansas with American beliefs? In this vivid tale of Cold War paranoia, where he is raised on a collective, Superman becomes a symbol to the Soviet people. The world changes drastically from what we know it, bringing Superman into conflict with Batman, Lex Luthor, and others. I'll admit that standalone Elseworld stories can be guilty pleasures of mine, but Millar's stellar writing of a twisted DC universe, while still containing parts of the original foundation that built these characters originally, made this a very compelling read. I caught myself intrigued by how the Superman-Lex Luthor relationship would be advanced. I was curious as to how Superman's values would transform the world, and I had absolutely no clue how the roles of other heroes would play into the universe. This story is an absolute slam dunk. Once you're done reading the jam-packed 3-issue series, you realize that it never dragged for a second, and it doesn't end with any loose ends. But to my previous question, is it fair to compare Brightburn to Red Sun? I'd have to say no. Yes, both tell what is essentially an alternative story of Superman's origin, but the similarities end there. Brightburn is horror, but rooted in decisions made by a family in a desperate state. Red Sun is more political, that pushes us into having a deeper philosophical conversation about the global economy and succeeding as a nation, with the lead character in both properties treating the human race very differently. Regardless of my thoughts on the comparisons, I recommend picking up both Brightburn and Superman Red Sun. Indulging in both properties in one evening did make for a very fun night. Have you watched Brightburn? Maybe you've read Superman Red Sun, or plan on picking up the movie. Let me know what you think in the comments below or on Twitter at Monty's Mayhem. Like and subscribe for more video reviews just like this.